Just 3 rounds in it, and Nunes, the man, on fine form at the moment, on fire, on pole position. I think that's his second pole position in a row, if I'm not mistaken, or it wasn't him last time out in the United States of America. Unfortunately, things didn't go his way there, but today it certainly looks like it, especially since his rivals are so far down the grid, and the most prominent one being Oyinkro down in P20 for today's Grand Prix. So the championship is Nunes' to lose as we go forward to the race today. The formation lap has been completed, and all we wait for is those 5 little bright red lights here in Puerto Rico for the first time in ORW history. And the Puerto Rican Grand Prix is officially underway. It's a good getaway, as expected, by the 2 Porsches into turn 1. They go. We at Marshall having a look down the inside at turn 1, but as they make their way through, there's a collision from the back. Nahel is out of the Grand Prix. No, he's not. He's still got. No, he's out. He tried to bring it back. He tried to spin back on to the concrete, the asphalt there, but he ended up hitting another car, and he has suffered fatal damage to his chassis and is now out of the Grand Prix and potentially out of the World Championship. And here is Oyinkro looking to go around the outside of the lights level, and he's into the barriers. That's virtual safety cars out. Oyinkro survives suddenly and surprisingly there, just about, but he's got hefty damage to his side pod there. Oyinkro into the pit lane only on lap 2, and this is all but it for his championship hopes. Into the pit lane to pit. And here comes Nunes and Marshall. Oh, there's a big collision. Sorry, is out of the Grand Prix. The second championship contender, the last one that had any chance of toppling Nunes today, is now out of the Grand Prix and is looking all but sealed for the Luxembourger up at the front of the grid. And here is Rican Marshall coming up to lap Oyinkro now. The Red Bull 1 lap down here. This is a poor weekend for all except for Nunes, it seems. Absolutely terrible stuff for him so far, being lapped by everyone. There's no chance of him coming back now. Here comes Octavia looking for the move on Vesteo around the outside. She's going to go, and down the inside she will try to move into the next corner. Vesteo trying to hang it around the outside, but Octavia forcing him wide. What a move from the forward performance, and she gets herself up into P6 in this one. Here comes Skittles trying to hold it around the outside there, but he wasn't able to do it. Cornwell going for the move, he locks up, and so does Enzo, and they go into the wall, both of them out of the Grand Prix, and that is a big lock up from both of them. Very bizarre move, but the virtual safety car out again. Here comes Vettel fan looking for the move on Dawson as they make their way into the final corner. Who will get the overtake? They've both crashed out. Dawson clipping the back of the McLaren, and that sent them both, no, not both, Vettel fan able to claw it back on the track, keeping the engine running and back into the Grand Prix. Here comes Rican Marshall lapping Oyinkro yet again. He's now 3 laps down in this Puerto Rican Grand Prix. Comes Tony Black. He's made his way up into P9. Solid comeback from the the safety car's out, and it's Monkey on Cloud. He survives that one, but Silla gone and out from the Grand Prix. A double Koenigsegg DNF now. It's not a familiar sight we used to see back in 2030, but this season it's very popular. And here comes just the 2 Porsches to safety car restart this one. They are so far ahead of the rest of the grid that none of them have been able to catch up to the safety car. So we go, and there's no pressure towards them as Nunes hit the go pedal through the final corner as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Chappell Leclerc. He's closing up to Racing God, and there is Vesteo off the track trying to make his way back, but there's a bit of confusion. Out turn 1, turn 2, big collision there. Tony Black been given a 5-second penalty for that collision, and rightly so. Skittles off the track and just about making his way back onto it. Thankfully, no one has been crashed out of this Grand Prix so far, but there goes Tony Black looking for the overtake on Chappell Leclerc. There he goes. No, not Chappell Leclerc. Aaron Connolly round the outside he goes. What an overtake there from the Hungarian, and he's still trying to hang it around there. Connolly back on the inside there. Tony Black still holding out, and there they go into the next corner, and that's Tony Black out of the Grand Prix, and Aaron Connolly just about survives that one. But a big collision, it was always going to happen in that corner, and there's a big collision there as well between him and Skittles there down in P12, and Oyinkro just about breathing a sigh of relief but then it'll be a sigh of disappointment and disgust because the Porsche is about to lap him once more. Here comes Wyatt Marshall lapping Octavia there, and they've made contact, and into the barriers goes Wyatt Marshall and Octavia, the Ford Performance and Porsche, both out of the Grand Prix now. Big collision, all Octavia's fault as she was being lapped there by the Porsche. Here comes Charles Leclerc up to P2 at the moment. Vettel fan, big collision there with Monkey on Cloud and the Williams. Thankfully both of them not out yet, and there's another, the Cadillac just clipped there by Monkey on Cloud here, but they've both managed to survive that one. Yellow flag still going, but the track should be cleared very shortly. Lap 31, and it's looking pretty boring out here. Nubert Nunes 35 seconds ahead of the rest of the field now. It's a domination, absolute abomination by Nubert Nunes so far, looking to break records. On to the final lap now for Purple in Sector 1. And the safety car has been called. The Skittles and the Steo both out on the final lap. Well, not their final lap because he's really lapped most of the grid already. But Oyinkro will get some points, so that's something that has come out of a very poor weekend for not just him, but for Nacho and Sari as well. And moving through the final corner, he will break the record for the most dominated race in ORW history. Before it used to be held by Vesteo, 51 seconds to the rest of the grid. But Nubert Nunes, he's lapped the whole grid today. He wins the Puerto Rican Grand Prix, and he puts basically one hand on the championship going into France and then Abu Dhabi a week later.